Hi there, let's create this cute polka dot mix mani using GelMoment gel polish and the GelMoment dotting tools. You're going to need all of your normal supplies for a GelMoment manicure, plus the GelMoment twin dotting tools set. This comes in a cute faux suede pouch with rainbow stitching, and it contains two tools which are both double-ended, so that you've got 4 different sizes of dotting tool. You'll want to make sure that you're working onto a fresh mani, or that your nails are nice and clean by prepping them with a GelMoment cleanser pad. Once you're done cleaning your nails, you want to put your cleanser pad in the middle of your work surface so that you can clean your tools as you go. I'm working on the GelMoment Silicone matte, which is great for nail art because you can put your polish directly onto the mat and clean it up nice and easy. The colours I'm using today are Lovey Dovey, Red Rebel and Raven's Kiss. And I also use a small amount of Scandalous to help the red dots really stand out. Once your nails are clean and dry, you're ready to start by choosing what size dotting tool that you want to use. Then open up your polish and put a small amount of it onto your work surface. So I'm using the silicone matte here, but you could also just use the paper packet that the cleanser wipe comes in if you don't have the silicone matte yet. So now we're ready to use our dotting tools. The GelMoment dotting tool set is a set of 2 tools which gives you 4 different sizes of dots. The different sizes of dots come in handy for various types of nail art, but for polka dots I like to use the smallest type. Take a look at your nails and decide where you'd like your pattern to start and what colour you want to use. The easiest way to start a polka dot is with a quincunx pattern, which you might recognise as the number 5 on the side of a dice. So you just get a small amount of polish on the tip of your dotting tool and then let the tip itself do the work of creating the polka dot. You just want to lightly touch the dotting tool to the surface of the nail, leaving a perfectly round dot of polish behind. And then you can tap back into your polish to reload and finish your design. So I find it easiest to start with the dot in the center and then do the 4 corners, which is what you can see here. Once you've got your 5 dots on the nail, you just expand that pattern a little bit further by filling in from the next dot along. I find it quite easy once you've got that first 5 to follow on from. It helps you to keep your pattern nice and even. Without being too rigid. The side of the nails can be a little bit tricky to get into, so you might want to rotate your finger and also make sure that you're bringing the dotting tool in from the same angle as you were from the top of the nail to make sure that your dots are still round and not a little bit wonky. When you're finished with that colour, you can just clean your dotting tool on the cleanser wipe and go in for another colour. If you're worried that you're going to knock that polish that you've already done, you can flash cure it, which is just putting it under the lamp for a shorter amount of time. And then you just need to remember to do a full cure of the polish designs when you're all finished. So as you can see here, I'm just starting again with that same cross pattern, the number 5, and then just filling in the design from there. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing polka dots is that they don't need to be perfect. You want to get the pattern as even as you can, but it doesn't need to be geometrically precise. Sometimes it gives it a little bit more character to have a bit more of a handmade look. When you're working around the edges, you might find that a dot wants to go right on the edge of the nail. Sometimes I find it easier to just put that dot where it needs to be and then clean up the polish off of the finger. It's up to you how you want to approach it. Sometimes you can just give that dot a miss. And again, just clean the tool when you're finished. And I'm just popping them under the lamp here for a full cure, which I'm fast forwarding. There we go, so those fingers are done. Now, because I'm working with the red polish onto the darker nail, I'm doing a layer of Sensational polka dots before I put the red rebel over the top. The Sensational underneath just helps the sparkly polish to stand out. You might want to do this similar sort of technique of an underlay if you're using any lighter colours or glitters onto darker polishes. There we go. Beautiful polka dots. You can see if you look at them side on that the polka dots are a little bit raised. I personally like this. If you don't like the raised texture and you prefer a flat nail, you can do a coat of Clearly Frisky over the top of the nails. Now it's on to the slightly trickier part, which is your other hand. Don't be daunted, it's definitely possible to have some nice looking polka dots on your bad hand. You might find that you're a little bit shaky working with your non-dominant hand, but I've got a couple of tips that will help you to make sure that you're getting your design nice and neat. The first one is that if you find you're a bit shaky, you want to try and anchor your elbow onto the working surface and then try and move the hand that you're confident with moving towards the tool rather than trying to be super precise with the tool itself. So you can see here what I'm doing is holding the tool steady once I've got enough polish on there, and then bringing the nail up towards the dotting tool rather than bringing the dotting tool towards the nail. You might find that working with a different angle is easier and working with smaller movements. So you might have noticed that I didn't follow my own advice. That's why this finger is looking a little bit wonky. Going with a mixed mani design also means that you don't have to paint as many details on your non-dominant hand. Just use a cleanser wipe to clean your mat when you're done, and make sure to cure your polish for the full curing time if you haven't done so already as you've been going. And then just admire your beautiful polka dot manicure. Thanks for watching.